wà ìwọ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ti darúgbó o máa pẹ́ ìwọ come on get out onírọ́ you lie too much your story.
You guys, this was literally the highlight of the video for me, because the way the insults were just going left, right and center with their different languages, it was sounding like a song. At this point, I feel like this is going to really fit into a beat. So Paul Cleverly, please come through for us. We need a beat, just the way you did for Umbuz or Chihuahua, backing dog. Please, we're going to need a beat for this particular conversation. So guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm standing for this video because I need to give it, you know, from within. So welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please do subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a brand new video, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So this video started off with Uti just going to meet the ladies in their various rooms to maybe check up on them, see how they are doing. To be honest, I don't even know why they did that. I don't know why they showed us that, but it started off for me. It started off when they did the introduction of the ladies coming in, and you guys, they came in a grand style with their traditional outfits, repping the culture, really repping the culture. It's even looking finer than I saw during when they showed us the snippet of what to expect. So the way they came in, the courage, the
very good to go.
You guys, I love the intro so much. Everything about the intro was on point. Then what was first thing that Uti asked them? Uti asked them about their experience. So basically what they were expecting to see on the show, the expectation versus the reality of the show. Most of them just said that is a different experience, you know, based on what they've seen before, and it was just like basic questions. And then you guys, they showed like a summary of the season, and it looks really good. I was like, this ladies really brought it. They really gave us a show. So I'm going to upload I'm going to upload all of them. They gave us a show. If you go back and watch like the summary of it, you see that okay, they really gave us a show. Then they now went on to address the issues, which is what literally happens as reunion shows. The first issue that they addressed was Laura and Chioma's issue, the friendship matter, and basically Uti asked Laura, what's up with the whole friendship matter? And Laura said that herself and Chioma are not friends, that she heard that okay, Chioma said several times that they are not friends, and then Chioma is right for saying that, because for her, she only referred to Chioma as a friend based on the fact that literally everybody is her friend. So she refers to everybody that's around her as her friend. So that's the context in which she called her friend. So Chioma is right by saying that she's not her friend. And then Chioma said that she did not know that Laura was going to take offense like that.
She has said several times that we're not friends, and trust me, Chioma is 150% correct. Me, I'm Laura. Everybody's my friend. My clients are my friend. Honestly, I was taken aback at the level of offense she took to what I said, because I didn't mean it in a bad way, and that's the God's honest truth.
So basically everybody around Laura is her friend. So yeah, that's it for the whole friendship matter. She also said that the reason why she was even having issues with Chioma on the show is not because of the friendship matter. It's not the friendship issue that extended to something else. That for her it was just all about Chioma taking Caroline's side, or would I say Chioma just joining Caroline to come at her. You understand? They were joining forces to come at her, and she didn't like that. So that's why she extended the issue she had with Chioma, because basically she had problems with Caroline. So it was just like a joint issue.
I was mad at Chioma because she came and said she wanted to support Caroline and fight me. I was like,
Then they now showed us their first trip, this particular trip that gave rise to the comment that Laura made about slapping Caroline. That she said she's gonna slap Caroline if Caroline says the things that she said on that trip to her face. After they now showed us that, now Uti now asked them that who is the person that passed the information on to Laura, and there was silence in the room. Like everybody was just quiet. I'm like, okay, so if I'm not going to talk now, you guys are not going to say anything. And then Uti now asked Laura that what was the whole anger about? Was she really told anything? Did somebody really tell her anything, or it was just her strategies to maybe, you know, get information from them? You know, when you're not there and you want to get information, you just say, you now start stirring up things so that people tell you what happened. And then Laura was like, it was her strategy to make somebody on the show, a housewife on the show, know that she did not like her, as in It was just a strategy to pass information across to a certain housewife. Obviously, that's Caroline that she was talking about there.
It was my strategy to let a certain housewife know that I didn't really like her. Before the show, I never liked Caroline.
Why?
We've had issues before the show. And watching the show now, I just realized that she said the least.
So basically, she has seen that Caroline did not even say so much about her. And when I was watching it then, I was like, I don't think I heard Caroline saying so much. So I was wondering why the major anger was being directed to Caroline at that point. So apparently, it's the issue that they had beforehand. Now, she now said that it's even Toyin that said the most about her. Immediately, she said that Toyin just entered her like, it's not me. Oh. I'm not the one that said the most about you. That it was Iyabo that said the most about her. That's how Straight Bullet got to Iyabo. She was like, it's Iyabo that said the most about her. And that Caroline said things about her, but it's not everything that was aired. She now made mention of some things that Caroline said about her that was not aired.
She said the most about me. I didn't say the most about you. Yabo said the most about you.
And actually, they did not show where Caroline said things about you. Everybody was there.
TV.
Caroline said you were rude to her at my masterclass and you picked on her and trolled her on the mic.
I don't think this particular conversation was her during that particular game, because it was basically a whisper game. You whisper to the next person and the next person whisper to the next person. So I think maybe it was another time that conversation happened, and it wasn't really still a bad thing. Like, you say somebody did something to you, I don't really think it's a bad thing per se to trigger anything. So moving on, they now spoke about Miriam, and he now went on to Miriam, asking her about her experience. You guys know that Miriam came in later, so he was just asking her, you know, the way she said she didn't really feel welcome from some housemates, from some housewives. She was now addressing the whole using the B word too much. Like, she uses it, like, there's a way she'll say it, you know, it's just like her saying, oh, it's not coming across like an insult. This is when Caroline now arrived in a grand style. I was like, genge.
It's like, you're my girl. Me using the word bitch on the table at the dinner was literally nice.
Oh. Hi. Wow. Welcome, Caroline.
The Queen of Zamunda. In Caroline's voice. Why did Uzi exclaim like that? Like, what happened? What's happened? Then the soundtrack that they now use, I was like, you guys should realize what's with the soundtrack and everything. So it was just very, very dramatic, and it was really, she really made a grand entrance. The way the other housewives even reacted, like, okay, you know. So it was, I just said, let me just, obviously that was a huge part of this particular reunion, her coming late and coming in like that. Then Miriam continued to talk about her experience. She now explained that the reason why she noted, or she took notice of Caroline's greeting, was because of how the other people greeted her. You know, that kind of thing. Like, she was just comparing it. So she felt like Caroline did not do well. She finished hugging everybody, and then, you know, Caroline just came with one small handshake.
I was comparing it with the way everyone else greeted me. Eventually, before the end of the night, you know, we all had laughter and everything, which was really shocking to me. When I saw it on TV, she's saying that, oh, you've done this. Girl, you know you've done worse. The streets are talking.
The streets are talking. That statement, the streets are talking, was supposed to be savage. In fact, it sounded savage, like the streets are talking, right? So it was savage until Caroline now gave her response. The response just like neutralized everything. Caroline was like, she understands that she didn't feel like she was not warm enough. That she felt like she was warm enough. She was warm enough. That she was even ill. You know, during that trip she wasn't feeling fine, so maybe that's what maybe affected the way she greeted her, and that the way Miriam felt is how she felt. So she acknowledged Miriam's feelings, that she didn't mean it that way, but Miriam felt that way, so she's sorry. She apologized to her. Now went further to say that, but if the streets are talking and Miriam has decided to listen to the streets talking, that she can't stop her.
I think I was warm enough. I was really sick. I was coughing, but it's how she felt. And I'm sorry about that, but if she wants to listen to the streets, I can't stop her. And if the streets wants to talk, I can't stop them from talking. I know who I am, and I know what I'm worth.
Oh shit, I know who God says I am.
I know who God says I am, what he says I am.
So that was how Caroline just responded. I was like, okay, that face just closed like that. So then I went over to Laura to ask her, like, which one is your personality? Is it the one that we saw on the show? Or is it the one that we usually see on Instagram, the bubbly Laura? You know, Laura is always bubbly and all of that on Instagram, or the Laura that they saw on the show? And so, like, she can be both. That you know, she's bubbly and all, but she's also very emotional. So that's what makes her react like that. And coupled with the fact that if she doesn't like somebody, she can carry it. She'll carry it. She carry things for mine. She can bear grudges a lot. So all that affected the way she acted on the show.
I am very bubbly. I love life.
Yes.
I love to enjoy myself.
Yes.
And I like to smile a lot. And I'm very emotional as well. If I have a problem with you, sometimes I drag it for a year, 2 years.
To be carrying things in mind, it's not good though. You just be having chest pain unnecessarily. So it's not a good thing. But, you know, basically that's just what she said about that. Toyin, on the other hand, was like, that's not the Laura that she knows. That the Laura that she saw on the show is not the Laura that she knows. That she knows Laura to be bubbly and all of that. But maybe Laura chooses who she wants to show that her bubbly side to, you know. So you know, that was just Toyin's own idea or Toyin's own perspective of the whole thing. As for Chioma, they are just her late coming. The late coming part was very funny, the way it was addressed. So first of all, Uti just asked about it, how she felt about, you know, just being the perpetual late comer. And she was not like, she was saying that she didn't handle the situation at Miriam's house very well, that she was not sensitive to the way they were talking, because they told her that she was not remorseful, right? So she said she acknowledged that she was not sensitive enough, and then she also actually apologized though.
Watching it back and seeing how it made them feel, I felt a bit ridiculous. I mean, I did apologize quite a few times, but I think I wasn't very sensitive to their feelings, you know, and of course that was wrong. So guys, I do apologize about that once again.
So when she apologized, I was like, it's like apologies are flying around today. I'm going to be seeing a lot of apologies today. Then next thing that happened, Utina said that he has a crown for her late coming, because you guys said that you guys remember one of her confessionals, she was like, she owns the crown and she, you know, she needs a sash to go with it. They now brought it for her and gifted her there. So she has been crowned the best latecomer. Best latecomer, basically. It was just very hilarious to see. I was like, god, you guys are so extra. After that, they now went on to address the issue that led to the first major fight on the show, like the one where they almost got physical and they had their August meeting. So Laura still maintained that the message that she sent to the group was not malicious. She didn't mean it in a malicious way, that she didn't have like any ill intent, if I may say, like, so, you know, she just maintained that fact. Then they now showed us a throwback of when Chioma and Caroline were literally going hard on Laura, like, you know, saying the most in the car about Chioma. About Laura.
Who on earth do you think you are to be writing this kind of stupid message? Because I'm in a WhatsApp group with you? You think you have access to me?
Who are you? Saying that in real life you would have walked away. Please excuse you. You don't even know what lamb chops is.
Do you guys know why that was so funny? Like watching it now, the one was just coming to my mind was, okay, this is when they were feeling all high and mighty, the high and mighty of the group before they now, you know, before the fight happened. I don't know why it was funny, but it was kind of funny to me, Sha. This is Laura saying, I wouldn't have waited. I don't think that's so deep. Like, nobody waits for somebody for that long, right? And then next thing they're like, oh, wouldn't even be on the same table or in the same space. It was just very funny to me. So, you know, after that, they now started to address, they asked Caroline. So basically, Laura said that the issue that she had with Caroline is that Caroline went off. Caroline went way too far with her response, like, oh, I just dropped one. And then the next thing, you're dropping a lot of things. And then Caroline was like, it was a build-up. It was literally a build-up of like tolerating Laura's excesses, because, you know, you guys know that they had different issues before. So it was like a build-up of that. And that's why she came with a nuclear weapon. That's why she came with a nuclear weapon to a stick fight.
It was a build-up of tolerating her excesses, and when it happened, I came with a nuclear weapon. Do I feel good about it? No, I don't, because I wish we could have handled it a lot better. But am I happy I stood up for myself? Oh yes, I would do that 1,000,000 times.
Oh shit, Putin. So this was, you know, Caroline just explaining herself. Utina read a tweet from Twitter. Basically, it was just about the fact that Chioma was in the car and was, you know, she was gingering, and then, you know, she wasn't saying anything on the WhatsApp group. So it was almost like, oh, Chioma was instigating things and Caroline was the one that was, you know, putting out the fire, basically. Then I asked Chioma about it. I don't know, should I show you guys the tweet? I don't know, maybe I'll just put it for you guys to see, but it was basically about Chioma instigating things. Then I asked Chioma about it. Chioma was like, Caroline acted on her own accord, that like we can hear from what Caroline said, that it was a build up of other things, that it was not really about her. That in fact, there's a part where she said that she typed a long message that she wanted to send to Laura, like she already, like, you know, she was already getting ready for her own basketballs, but she was on the call with Miriam, and Miriam just told her that she should not respond, she should not send it. And she, on the other hand, was not like, okay, let her also tell Caroline to, you know, withdraw from doing that. But it was not, she was not foiling it, basically.
Caroline did that on her own accord. If anything, I did the opposite, trying to convince her not to respond, which is the line of action that I chose to take. Caroline's explained herself. She said that the reason why she chose violence on that very day is because she wanted to stand up for herself, and she felt like Laura had been coming for her and she never really responded.
And for me, I personally don't think, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one seeing it from a different angle, but I personally don't share the same sentiments that Chema was the one that was instigating Caroline to go after Laura. You understand? I don't think that was the case, because Laura and Caroline's issue is not even from the show. But obviously, because I am now with you on having issues with this person, we are going to obviously talk about this person, and then it's going to be stronger. But I don't think it was because of this person that it was, you know. But yeah, Utina moved on to talking about the pimping situation that happened at the meeting. That how did Laura feel about it? Like Caroline saying that she was pimped, and Laura started off by saying that she's married to an evil man, and it's an abomination for a married woman to cheat, basically.
I'm actually married to an evil man. You know, cheating is an abomination.
Cheating is an abomination in so many places and in a lot of ways. But I do understand her angle, Sha. If you know, you know. The only thing that is missing in her statement is that she did not add for women. Moving on. So then I asked her how she felt about, she continued to talk about how she felt about Caroline saying that she was pimped. She said that she thought that Caroline was playing at first. You know, that kind of thing where maybe you're saying something to just hurt somebody because you're in an argument. But she noticed that Caroline was sticking to her story, or was like literally sticking to what she was saying. That's why it now got really serious, and she was like, oh, okay, is this baby really, really serious? Now when her husband even saw it, he was shocked, like like, what's going on?
I was really shocked because I don't think anybody has actually associated me with Boss before. At first, I actually thought that maybe she was trying to get to me. But then she kept on saying that she's serious. So I'm like, When my husband saw that, then she was like, hey, again, these dogs were calling me.
I'm just imagining how the call from her village people would have been. That's if it happened. I'm just imagining how it would have been. So, as for Caroline, Utina asked her whether she feels like, how does she feel about it now, like looking back at it. And then Caroline was like, she, like the fact that it happened online, as in on air like that, somehow, but she stands by what she said. She still stands by her statements that she made on the show. I was like, hey, come on.
Saying it too far on TV, yes, but I still hold on to it. I was one of the people they gave, I think, 70 IVs to invite Nollywood people to represent, to give speech and all that.
Wahala deal. Caroline was not talking about how she got to know or how the whole pimping situation came about. She was like, maybe it's one of the people that Laura came with that was talking about it that she now overheard. Laura now had to ask her that. So you heard? You did not even see or anything. It's here that you overheard something, and then you now run with it. And Laura was just like, in fact, she's not even going to, go deep into the whole matter, that she's going to leave it.
The truth here is, it depends the people that took you there or whom you were even discussing with that must have said those things about you and I heard. So I'm not taking anything back.
So you didn't think you heard?
You know what? I'm not taking it back.
I can't actually discuss this.
I like the fact that Laura decided not to even push for that with the whole situation, because it's ridiculous at this point. Like, you said that you don't say you heard, maybe somebody that came with you that was saying it and you heard, like this is a huge accusation. You cannot just be making it with full conviction like that. You guys saw how she was so convinced that this babe was pimped, and then now it's a maybe situation you overheard. Like, it's a serious accusation that you're just putting out like that. And another thing that further shows that it was most likely not what was going on was the fact that she said she was giving 70 invites. So many people were there. That means it was not like a private occasion. It was not like, oh, you guys just met in a hotel, you guys are just very few. So place Boku. So on what basis will somebody now be pimped in that situation? The married woman, for that matter, they want to pimp, do now openly come and pimp like that. You understand? So I feel like it was a major accusation that shouldn't have been put out that way, right? Imagine if the husband was not the one that took her to that occasion or to that hotel. Now wahala for day. Moving on to the next thing. Then she now talked about the fact that Laura also accused her of sleeping with small boys.
You have a husband, I have a family too. So when you go about saying that I sleep with small boys, do you have a confirmation for that?
But that accusation, I remember the accusation came after she accused Laura of being pimped, right? Uti now asked Toyin about, you know the way she came at Laura in that round table situation. Uti now asked Toyin that, how does she feel about it now, that if taken back to that and being in that scenario, will she still react like that? And Toyin was like, yes, that she's gonna still react like that. That she had been standing up for Laura even in her absence. That so many people were saying things about her in her absence, and she, more like was just shutting it down. She still decided to stand by her, defend her, and that she was hurt by the fact that Laura did her own the previous day. So that's why she now,
they are always telling me, Tony, I don't know why you're friends with this girl. She acts like this. She's always like this. I keep making excuses for her.
Were you still hurt by what she said at Mariam's dinner?
Yes,
Is that
of course.
why you
I
didn't
held
really
the grudge.
support her?
Yes, I did, and I told her to her face.
I kind of understood Toyin that night, because you cannot embarrass me in front of these people the other day and expect me to stand by you another day. It's not gonna happen. But the way Toyin handled it, I don't feel like she should have handled it that way. But she was acting on her emotions. Everybody was being emotional. They now asked Laura, like, what's up with their friendship and everything. Laura was not like she did not have an issue with Toyin until she watched the show. That she noticed that Toyin said a lot of nasty things about her on the show. And then the one that really got to her was when Toyin said, "Oh, was I with you in the room, in the pimping room?"
So what is it about? What did you see on the show?
It was just back-to-back nasty comments. The one that actually touched me the most was when she said, "Did I follow you and Caroline to the governor's room?"
But did I?
Finally, Sha, that comment was actually somehow, like, even if you were not there, it's not for you to come and say, was I there? Like, at least you know this person to an extent. You should be able to say that, I don't think this is how this person is, or not to say, was I there, as if, okay, you feel like, oh, maybe something happened, or you can, so that comment was actually somehow. But moving on, they now asked Toyin was now talking about the reason she was reacting that way towards Laura, that in the confessionals, like in Toyin's confessionals, that they'll tell her something that Laura said and she'll react. So basically it was more of like a reaction. And I always wondered how they used to do those things in the confessionals, like what they used to tell them. Do they show them what the other person said? But now I'm actually happy that I know that this is how it happens. So basically they'll tell you what the other person said, which may have been transmitted in another way, or maybe you don't even know what they are being told there. So but yeah, I like the fact that she spoke about that.
You said that you are not my friend, I am not loyal. You said, see, with every action, there's a reaction. You don't expect to be saying things about me, because the diaries, they will actually tell me something that she would have said.
I didn't say anything about her throughout the show.
The girl was now talking about the fact that she didn't say anything about Toyin, like, in her confessional, she didn't really say anything about Toyin on the show, and that she liked Toyin a lot. Toyin did not allow her to talk. She was just coming with different kinds, different forms of, like, she was just responding back. I'm like, relax,
Relax.
allow her talk now, let her speak. So she Toyin was just like, talking about the fact that Laura said something about her at the beginning of the show, about her saying something about Toyin.
Because I love you, I tolerated a lot of things from you, but don't expect me not to say how I feel. Exactly when I wanted to say at the whole party that, oh, fine, this is how I feel about it. You told me, no, Toyin,
The thing is, I genuinely really liked her.
If you genuinely like me, you will not go on the show and say I told you things. From day one, from episode 1, people were trolling me saying,
actually, dude, that comment was somehow, because that comment actually shaped a lot of people's views on certain people throughout the show. So obviously that was at the beginning, so people just held on to that, and like, so I understand her feeling hot about it. Then Toyin kept going on and on and on. The next thing, they brought about the part where Toyin said, let Laura not bring her stupidity to Dubai, and she was like, yeah, she stands by it, that she said it, that let Laura not bring her stupidity to Dubai. The thing just went from 0 to 80 like real fast, and she was just expressing the fact that she felt some type of way. And there was even a time that she said she cried and Laura did not even follow her production team.
But you just feel like everything is about you. Everything's not about you, Laura. I said it because I know you will watch it. And maybe you will fix up and realize how you treated me after standing up for you back to back. Even the day you made me cry, you didn't follow me. There are lots of things in camera. You didn't follow me.
What's going on? Production team, please. Why didn't you show us that part? So a lot of things happened, according to what she's saying now. They had, for Laura and Toyin, I don't even think maybe the friendship is even over at this point, because some of them were just sounding like really hot, or maybe they'll settle, I don't even know. But moving on, then I went on to Toyin and Caroline, which is where the things went from 0 to 1,000 real quick. So basically, Utina asked Toyin that what's up with this friendship, because obviously there was something with them before, and then now it's almost like nothing. And then Toyin started off by saying that it's been 13 years since their friendship ended, and that they had a conversation that they're going to move on from this. They'll just leave everything that happened in the past and all of that.
This is a big one. It's been 12 years since we've been friends last. We used to be friends. Yes, we're not friends anymore. We had a conversation and I'm like, okay, fine. Whatever happened with us in the past, let's just leave that at, in the past.
And they also showed us in fact, what brought up this particular conversation was where they showed us where Toyin asked Caroline what happened between Caroline and her husband and her ex-husband, right? That's how this part of the conversation started. Then Utina asked her, Utina asked her about, what was the question about, why, basically about the question. And then Toyin was now saying that, she purposely asked the question, that she asked the question because she wanted people to hear her asking Caroline the question. I get that she take talk, but the explanation Toyin gave does not make sense at all. Although she went on to say that she was not trying to put her under the bus or bring her down or anything. But the explanation she gave about asking the question, I did not get it. If you understood it, let me even play it for you guys. If you understood the explanation that she gave, please help me, help your sister.
The question I asked Caroline in Abuja, I purposely asked her that question because I really wanted everybody to hear and hear it from my mouth when I asked her, oh, what happened between you and your ex? I wasn't asking to put her down. I didn't even know that she was really upset about it until later.
For me, I couldn't really make sense of the statement. I feel maybe she was lost for words, or but it wasn't giving any kind of meaning whatsoever. Then Caroline was like explaining how they met. First of all, she said that they met, it was a proposal that she was supposed to write for Toyin, and then she was not like, okay, no, that it was at a boat club. This was the point where Toyin just entered the conversation. I was just attacking her. You say we met here now, and then I was like, Toyin, relax, let's her talk.
Relax, it's enough.
I knew her through work. She wanted me to write a proposal for her. Actually, I first met her at Boat Club. She needed investment. I didn't interject. I didn't interject. Can I finish? I did not interject.
Let me be correcting your life.
No.
So you said that she wants to be correcting her lie. Immediately, she wants to be correcting it quick. When she said that statement, it just reminded me of Iman from Big Brother, when she said, "Don't sit down." When he said, "Don't sit down there and lie against me."
Don't sit down there and lie against me.
That statement from Ima should be a worthy meme at this point. So that was just like how the whole thing just entered gear 2, I've been in gear 3. Then Caroline just went and continued to talk about how they met. She now made mention of the fact that they were friends for just 2 months. Toyin was still obviously interjecting in the conversation. So before you say 1 month, and then now you're now agreeing that we're friends, and then it was for 2 months, right?
It was from proposal we became friends for just 2 months.
I thought we were not friends.
We became friends for just 2 months.
That's a lie. And you first said it was a month on the show on that clubhouse.
September was when I met Toyin. By October we stopped talking.
My problem with Caroline is that her story is hardly consistent. You say you people were not friends, and then when they had their arguments or that issue on Twitter, so many things that she said about Toyin just went to show that, okay, there's no way you know all this is about this person without you guys being friends. And then now she's saying that they were friends, but it was she earlier said they were friends was for a month. Now she said that it was for 2 months and all that. So I just feel like her story is not really consistent. So it's hard to believe her angle coming from this angle of how the friendship happened and how it ended. At this point, I don't even think they've really told us what really went down that scattered their friendship. But Moving on, Carolyn was now saying that Toyin was busy spreading stories about her, saying different things about her, like to different people and all of that. This one I believe small. I kind of believe it because Toyin kind of did something like that on the show, obviously like carrying the gist of what happened at the first outing to Laura and all of that. So this one I can believe it because I've seen it happen. Then she just gave that part of the story, and then she kept on talking about other things.
November 4th, when she came to my house for my ex-husband's birthday, which I hosted, I told her I didn't want to see her. I was still married.
And why did
I was
you
like,
want to
how
see
old
me?
was I? I think I was 23 years old. You went about telling people all sorts of things about me.
Why didn't you want to see me?
You went about
Stop
telling all sorts of people.
now.
She also made mention of the fact that Toyin said she slept with her. That's two of them they slept with each other, and then Toyin also said she slept with her artist, she slept with her ex, she slept. I say, this one I don't know about this one. Oh, this one I cannot confirm it. I don't know. They're the ones that know about this one. But that's a lot. She just just spoke about the things that she said Toyin was spreading about her, basically.
I slept with you. Secondly, I slept with your artist. Thirdly, I was doing this, doing that. Like, I literally slept with 5 people in a month from Toyin. I don't care what you are saying. My ex-husband told me to keep quiet about it. I did keep quiet about it.
Who can confirm this one? Because come and help us confirm. Then Caroline said that her husband told her to not to talk about it, to forget about the issue, and then she left the issue. She now went on to she kept talking. She was not calling Toyin a liar. Caroline was not calling Toyin a liar. That in fact they even gave Toyin a name, ATM. Like the only ATM I know is the machine where you can collect money. So please come and tell us the full meaning of this ATM. So she just kept talking about Toyin, and then talking about her kicking Toyin out of her house. Toyin was not saying, okay, why did you kick me out of your house? Why exactly? She was saying, I've already said it now, and then she now said, are you deaf? That she now spoke about her lying. She was not like, are you deaf? This is when the whole thing went from 1,000 to 20,000, and then she said, are you deaf? Toyin now shifted goalpost, went to her father, says your father that is deaf. Caroline now shot back, and then says her own father that is deaf. Toyin said her father is dead, mother has passed away, both of them. Caroline says in the grave, that they are deaf in the grave.
What happened where?
You kicked me out. What happened?
What happened where?
Exactly. Say what happened now.
What happened where? I've told you what happened.
What happened?
Were you not the one lying up and down?
What did I lie about?
I just told you now. Were you deaf when I was saying it?
Your father is dead.
It's your father that is deaf, and your mother
My
that
father
is
is
deaf.
dead. My mother is also dead.
Oh, maybe they're all deaf in the grave.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how this particular part of the argument from both of them did not lead to another thing, because it was deep. Like the entered parents, obviously it was Toyin that started by talking about Caroline's parents, and then Caroline went and talked back, and then it happens that her parents are not even there. Jesus Christ, purify me. Purify, because this is what. In fact, moving on. Let me not even talk about it too much. Then Caroline was not Toyin was now saying telling Caroline that was it not because of you that I got beat up and all of that. And then next thing, Caroline brings in Swanky Jerry, Christina into the equation, that the same Toyin accused them of beating her, being the reason for them to beat her up.
Was it not because of you that they beat me up?
Did you accuse Swanky of being the one to beat you up?
You accused
Christina of being the one to beat you up.
Why do you call other people's name in your bullshit?
Then why do you keep accusing everybody for beating you up?
When did I accuse them?
Yes, you did.
When?
Yes, you did.
When?
She just brought in, as in Swanky Jerry stayed in his house and he received stray bullets. Christina stayed wherever they are, received stray bullets. I was like, how did this thing reach outside this thing that is going on? Toyin was not saying that, why are you always bringing other people into your fights? Like, can't you fight your own fights? I think the same thing happened online. She mentions Swanky's name in their Twitter back and forth. I was like, leave these people. Swanky Jerry did not respond then. I don't think he's gonna respond now. I hope it doesn't respond, because the whole thing is just going outside of this particular show. The next thing, Toyin was now calling Caroline fifth wife. Does she know a fifth wife? The other people were just laughing. It's not them to. Okay, it's not like they could have done anything, but they were just there laughing. Even the host did not even say, okay, it's okay. People, stop this. Let's move on to the next. The host was just there being entertained by the whole thing.
You are That's not you're calling someone bad like that. Were you not
exactly
fifth
which fifth wife?
You were first wife.
Answer if I was fifth, I was legally married. Who married you?
With shame.
Did they legally
You know they
marry
ever have the papa
you struggled so much
You
for that
somebody that
to marry
said
you. Could not marry you.
The whole thing just continued like that. At some point, Nengi and Tonto DK was now brought into the equation. I said, Genge. Caroline, only you brought Swanky Jerry, Christina, Nengi, Tonto. These people are not part of the show. I felt like it was someone like you don't need to. You can say, oh, other people. You have also accused other people of doing this to you, like without calling their name. At this point, I think it was almost as if she wanted the fight to continue. Let these other people now come for Toyin, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't think there's gonna be a comeback. The only person that would have responded would have been Tonto DK, but this one, she's now pursuing her political career. I don't think she's going to be involved in any online fights. And Nengi will definitely not respond. Never, ever, ever. Swanky Jerry, I don't know about that. I don't know about Christina. But let's see how it continues, translates to the online version of the fight. I'm going to try and post, you know, the extended version of their fight in the other room. So this is the point where they now spoke their language. That funny person they spoke their language, which I really liked, even though they were insulting each other. It was actually funny. This is the part where Toyin said her kidney is aged.
Someone gets out.
Then you know what has happened. That's basically what happened with their fight. I feel like their relationship, I think their relationship was definitely more than just like mere friendship based on business, because their problem is deep. I think the deeper your friendship was, the deeper the beef will be, because that's when you really be hot about maybe the person. If something goes wrong, if you don't read the person before, you will not have that kind of very serious, because this their beef at this point is strong, but I don't really know. Somebody online said these are exes fighting. Like referring to Toyin and Carolyn as exes, like maybe they were in a relationship or what. I don't know where the person got that kind of nonsense idea from. Or in fact, I am not going to be assuming things at this point. Let's just move on. So I think that's basically what happened on this in this episode. For the next episode, we are expecting a lot of things that are going to happen there. Basically, there was a talk about jazz. Somebody says somebody used jazz. Somebody says somebody eats meat that was spoiled or something.
I've had issues with going to eat at a place and I ate bad meat. Oh, does I want to use somebody's star? Or she kept on calling Choma over and over again. Don't come. Don't put your bag there, or don't do this, or else you're going to use a star. People like them, they use jazz.
Well, the next episode is going to be hot, but I don't think they addressed Choma and Caroline's issue, because if they did, I think we would have seen it in the snippet, but we didn't say anything about that. So I guess maybe Caroline and Choma's issue was not addressed, but let's see how that goes, Sha. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye, love you.